By early 2004, the war in Iraq had entered a new and uncertain phase. Although major combat operations had officially been declared over, stability on the ground remained fragile. The fall of Saddam Hussein's government had created a power vacuum, and efforts to establish security and governance faced growing resistance. Insurgent attacks were increasing across the country, targeting coalition patrols, supply convoys, and infrastructure. Several cities began slipping out of coalition control, highlighting the difficulty of maintaining order in post-invasion Iraq. One of the most significant of these cities was Fallujah, located west of Baghdad along a critical supply route connecting the capital to western Iraq and neighboring countries. Why Fallujah mattered? Fallujah held major strategic importance due to both its location and its urban environment. Sitting along a key highway, the city played an important role in the movement of troops, equipment, and supplies. Control of Fallujah meant influence over a vital corridor used by coalition forces operating in central and western Iraq. Beyond geography, the city's dense urban layout made it especially difficult to control. Narrow streets, tightly packed neighborhoods, and a large civilian population limited the effectiveness of armored vehicles and air support. Insurgent groups exploited these conditions, using buildings, alleyways, and civilian areas to conceal their movements. Over time, Fallujah became a stronghold for insurgent activity, where fighters could organize, store weapons, and plan attacks while restricting coalition freedom of movement. The First Battle, April 2004. In April 2004, tensions in Fallujah reached a breaking point following the killing of 4 American contractors. In response, U.S. forces launched a military operation aimed at reasserting control over the city and dismantling insurgent networks operating there. What was expected to be a limited operation quickly escalated into intense urban combat. Coalition forces encountered heavy resistance almost immediately. Insurgents fought from within residential areas, using the city's terrain to their advantage. As fighting intensified, civilian casualties and damage to infrastructure became a growing concern. Media coverage and political pressure increased both inside Iraq and internationally. Faced with these challenges, coalition leadership decided to halt major offensive operations before full control of Fallujah was achieved. U.S. forces withdrew to the outskirts of the city, effectively leaving it under insurgent influence. The Second Battle, November 2004. Later that year, coalition forces returned to Fallujah with a far larger and more coordinated operation, known as Operation Phantom Fury. This time, the assault was carefully planned and involved U.S. Marines, U.S. Army units, and Iraqi security forces working together. The objective was to eliminate insurgent strongholds and restore coalition control over the city once and for all. The battle was marked by sustained, close-quarters urban fighting. Coalition forces advanced slowly, clearing neighborhoods, building by building and room by room. Insurgents used fortified positions, tunnels, and booby traps to slow the advance. The intensity of the fighting was severe, making it one of the most intense engagements involving U.S. forces since the Vietnam War. The operation required discipline, coordination, and endurance as troops fought through some of the most challenging urban conditions imaginable. Consequences. By the end of the operation, coalition forces had regained control of Fallujah. Many insurgent fighters were killed or captured, and large weapons caches were discovered and destroyed. From a military perspective, the operation achieved its immediate objectives by removing Fallujah as a major insurgent stronghold. However, the cost was significant. Large portions of the city were left damaged or destroyed, and a substantial part of the civilian population was displaced. Rebuilding infrastructure, restoring basic services, and helping residents return would take years. The human and physical toll of the fighting left a lasting impact on Fallujah and its people. Why this moment matters. The battles of Fallujah highlighted the harsh realities of modern urban warfare. They demonstrated that capturing territory does not always guarantee long-term stability, especially in complex political and social environments. The experience influenced U.S. military doctrine, shaping future training and planning for operations in dense urban areas against insurgent forces. Fallujah became a symbol of the challenges faced during the Iraq War, where military success on the battlefield often came with long-term strategic and humanitarian consequences. Its lessons continue to shape how modern armies prepare for and conduct urban operations in conflicts around the world.